I think we've done exceptionally well in a strained micro and macroeconomic environment. I think it's important to note that we drive sustainability. For us, everything is about how do we make sure that there's a company in 10 years to come, 20 years to come. How do we make sure that we live by our guiding principle of building legacies, changing lives? And effectively, if every one of our staff members go home every night saying, we made a difference in someone's life, we've got a sustainable business model. So most of our revenue this year has been driven by open market sales. That's effectively the man on the street buying a house from us. And we've been up in that market. And compliment to all the major banks as well. They've been funding our clients at 100% home loans. On a Memorial Park side, of course, which also performed very well, we believe that our lay-by offering, where you're allowed 24 months interest-free to pay for your grave, has also supported the market in terms of affordability. So everything is driving sustainability for long-term growth.
Let's look at the housing side for a bit. I mean, we're in an environment where we're seeing elevated interest rates, and interest rates could stay higher for longer. We don't know what's going to happen. But what kind of dynamics are you seeing on that front when it comes to demand and affordability?
There's definitely strain on the consumer. We have to sell roughly double as much units as we used to sell to get the same converted to what we like to call bankable sales. That's effectively a client where we've already submitted the process to the bank. The client has qualified for a 100% home loan. Remember, if you look at the 500,000-600,000 Rand home loan market, those clients don't have 5 to 10% deposit. It equate to 50 to 60,000 Rand to put down as deposit, so they need to get 100% bonds. So it's definitely more difficult. However, if you look at the housing backlog in South Africa, and if you go and stand on the corner of any informal settlement, whether it's Diepsloot, Honeydew, Khayelitsha, Tembisa, you'll see how many people are leaving for formal job opportunities at 5:30 a.m. in the morning with their kids that have to go to school at that time, have to leave with the parents. That's not a dignified life. That's not a life we as South Africans can be proud of. So the big thing for Calgro is we need to put products in the market close to job opportunities, close to good schools, shopping centers, and other facilities that people need in these communities to uplift people's lives. Where if you're close to job opportunities, effectively, one of the spouses, one of the parents can work a bit harder, work a bit longer, earn a better income, uplift the family. The other can spend more time with the kids. And if you go to the kids, imagine you have to go to school or wake up at 4:30, 4 a.m. in the morning to go to school. At night, you're tired. You can't study. You can't do your homework. You almost start life on the back foot. And that's what we need to erode. And that's what's driving Calgro and the housing market.
On that note, you've partnered with Arendse Property Group to create a new town between Sandton and Waterfall. When are you hoping to break ground on that?
We hope to transfer the land, so we exercise the option. The land should transfer in the middle of this year, and then we hope to break ground October, November this year with bulk and link infrastructure. Remember, we have to create new entrances. We have to create link roads, stormwater facilities. There'll be new water facilities, water reservoirs. So we hope to then have a 12-month lead start for that and break ground with top structures, which I think is what the viewers are after. When can we start looking at buying houses? Hopefully towards the end of next year, October, November 2025, we'll commence the first top structure construction with the first deliveries a year later, October, November 2026. We expect the first houses to transfer to hopefully very satisfied clients.
When you look at the space that you're operating in, what do you see as a risk to the industry?
Look, to the industry, definitely currently home loans and availability thereof. I complimented the banks earlier. I think this time around they really played a critical role in not withdrawing from the market like we've seen many times in the past. I've been in Calgro now for 16 years, and we've seen home loans going through cycles where there's more available than not. This time around, the banks have really tried to support the market. Interest rates, we hope and we believe it's at a high. We hope that we start seeing decreases towards the end of the third quarter this year. That will support the housing market, but interest rates are definitely a risk. And then just it's a pure financial well-being of the consumer. We still believe that home ownership is better than renting. And the main objective there is that when you rent, you always pay someone else's bond. When you own, even if it's slightly more expensive in this interest rate environment, at least you're creating wealth for your own family, you're paying off your own home loan. if you go back to the rental as well, and there's a lot of factors in the market or people in the market that currently say, hang on, it's cheaper to rent. Remember, rent goes up every year. From here, we believe that home loans or the interest rate can only come down, and that will see a reduction in the cost of living. And then, of course, lastly, the cost of owning a home, your rates, taxes, your security bills, all of that adds up. Your cost of water, electricity, sewer. Sewer is a big thing. There's a lot in the press being written about municipality rates, and we support that we need different tariffs on these different levels. We typically, one of the main supporters to say homes below a certain market value, most probably 700,000-800,000 rand, needs to have better rates in terms of sewer. That's a big thing, where in some instances you see sewer costs up to 650 rand on a home that's worth 500,000 rand. That's a material cost. The same with water, electricity, and rates and taxes.
We're about 15 days or so to elections. As a CEO, what are you paying attention to following the elections over the next 6 months or so?
Well, stability. We need stability. There's lots of international research that says that politics don't drive the economy. However, political stability drives stability and investment in countries. South Africa need investment. We need investment to drive job creation, and we need job creation so that we erode inequality, which will assist South Africa in the broader scheme of things. So for us, it's all about stability. We don't need major change. We don't need major policy reforms. All of these things are there. It's in place. We're 50 years into democracy. We now just need stability so that business can freely invest